Welcome back, guys. Welcome to the Dreams to Reality podcast. I'm your host, Annabelle Rodriguez, and with me, I have my right-hand man, Christopher Big Tuna Lopez.
Yo, what up? I'm in the house.
He's in the house, guys. Today, we have a very special show for you guys. We have a very special guest as well. Our guest today is a professional videographer and editor. 8 years ago, he started his journey with iPhone 6, believe it or not. And today, he has an arsenal of high-end equipment. He's working with major companies, working with social media influencers. He's popping, guys. And one of my favorite quotes from this man is, "There's levels to this." So today, you're going to hear his story. He's going to tell you on how he became a successful videographer. So please help me welcome Jonathan Elvis Tamez.
What is up? What is up? Thank you guys for having me on this podcast.
It's our pleasure, brother.
Yes, sir. Welcome, man. Glad to have you on.
Very excited to be here.
So how's business going, bro?
Business is a blessing, man. It's definitely a blessing. I'm loving the journey. There's one thing I really like that I'm really living by right now is trusting the process and loving the journey.
That's it.
You got to trust the process and you got to love the journey that you're on. A lot of people get too caught up in the destination, get too caught up on their timeline, on their end goal. But it's always the journey, the people you meet along the journey, the ups and downs on the journey, rather than the destination and the end point. So trust your process and love the journey.
Beautifully said, brother. Are you loving your journey, Chris?
You know.
Tell us the truth, man.
Every day I wake up, I feel good. Nah, that's not true. I'm fucking lying. I'm lying to you guys. I don't always feel good when I wake up.
There's no bullshit in this podcast, brother.
Come
you gotta
on,
keep it
dude.
real.
Why you gotta do me like that in front of millions of people? Come on, man. I came on here and I said my script and now you fucking mad at me, dude. Come on, chill out. Nah, man. Look, every day, I like what you said about trust the process and enjoy the journey. It's 100% true. You know, trust the process. You wake up, you don't always feel good. You don't always feel like doing it. It might not always look like it's working. But you got to trust the process. At least that's what it means to me. What does it mean to you? Same thing?
Same thing, man. You're always going to have obstacles along the way. Every day, I have another little saying that I wake up is I wake up excited, motivated, blessed, and grateful, and excited about my life. And I hope you feel the same way. So I always try to encourage everyone to wake up excited, wake up motivated, wake up blessed, and wake up motivated and excited about your life. You know, no matter what you're going through, everyone's battling through something. Everyone has their own stories. Everyone has their own timelines. But every single day, you got to push forward. Mindset is a big thing in life. If you don't have a strong mindset, a happy mindset, a grateful mindset, a humble mindset, this world's going to eat you up. This world's going to eat you up. It's gonna crumble you. It's gonna keep you broken. So having a strong mindset, just being grateful that you're alive, and there's people out there that have it worse than you. So yeah, man, I'm loving my journey. I'm loving my fails. I look forward to failing because it's only gonna develop me and give me that, because we wish everything can go right. You know, if everything is going right, I think we're gonna get in our comfort zone. We're gonna think it's chilled, and we're gonna get hit with the setback. Yeah. So I'd rather get hit with the fails, get hit with the setbacks early on, because we're gonna have fails throughout the process. But
I gotta stop you. I thought I heard him say we're gonna get hit with the sex. I said, all right, let's go.
Yeah, I'm down for that.
That's along the journey too.
We're gonna get hit with the sex.
Yeah, that's along the journey
that's
too.
Funny,
hey,
dude.
man, I've been beaten with a bat a couple times already,
stupid.
but that's awesome, man. Yeah. So on our show, man, we like to dig deep into our guest story. Find out where they started off and how their journey went, and talk about those obstacles, talk about some of your philosophy, and essentially what made you successful in the field that you're at. And I met you not too long ago. I think we met probably around like 2 months ago or something like that, 2 or 3 months ago. And I just found you on Instagram, on social media, and I was a up and coming videographer myself and photographer, and I was looking to collaborate with other people that were already in the field. And the first time I came across your page, the first thing that popped out to me was like, man, this guy is really good at what he does. He's professional. I thought like, man, this guy's light years ahead of me, and I kind of emulated you, where I was like, I want to create content like this guy. So I kind of put myself in a position where I reached out and I was like, hey man, let's work together and let's collaborate, and we've worked on a couple different events, Jet's an event videographer, and he also shoots commercials for, like I said, major companies, and he works with social media influencers, and he's amazing at editing and putting together people's visions. You know, he can really bring it to life. So that's something that I want to do myself. You know, we are both creative in our own way. Yeah. But I did want to tell you, man, I appreciate everything you do, and I think you're great at it. So you said, I know in my little intro I talked about you started off with an iPhone 6. So let's go to the beginning, man. What did you used to do before you got into you know, photography, videography, editing, and what led you to this path?
Nice. Yes, like you said in the intro, I started off with the iPhone 6. You know, that was came out in 2014.
Quick thing. Don't mean to cut you off. Is that mic too low for you? I feel like you're hunching over. Want me to lift it up for you a little bit?
Yeah, I think.
Or you can lower the chair a little bit.
Let me lower the chair a little bit.
Hey, guys, this is live right here.
Yeah.
You see?
That's the problem with being tall. That's why, you know.
Yeah.
I'm down to earth, baby.
Yeah, man, I had a growth spurt.
Because I felt you were like kind of like hunching over to talk. I want you to be comfortable, you know?
Yeah, I feel it right now.
All right, cool. You good?
Yeah.
All right, cool, man. So yeah, go into your story. Tell us, you know, what you used to do before and what led you into this path.
Yeah, man. It started with the iPhone 6, like you said. Well, before it led to the iPhone 6, I was actually shooting on all its Galaxy Android people.
All fuzzy and stuff?
Yeah, all fuzzy and stuff. So I was doing the typical IG, you know, after a gym session, take a selfie, you know.
The selfie king. Hey,
Yeah,
bro. We call those swolfies.
Yo, swolfies, man. So
I was a master at those until I gained about like 30, 40 pounds. Then, you know,
I've been skinny boy.
And then you were just swollen.
I was just swollen. Yeah, I was just swollen.
Yep. So that's how I started, and started recording videos with my phone. You know, I started getting more on Instagram, started seeing, you know, influencers, people posting workouts. So I wanted to get in that field because I just got into fitness around 2013, 2014.
Yeah.
So then I wanted to edit my workouts. So I didn't have a laptop, I didn't have internet, I didn't have none of that access. So I ended up upgrading to an iPhone 6 because I had iMovie. That's a little software you can use to edit your videos. So I ended up buying an iPhone 6, and I also ended up buying a wide angle so I can capture more of the scenery of the environment that I'm in. So that's what I learned on YouTube, is having a wide angle to, you know, for vlogging and capture more of the environment.
Yeah.
And I also bought a tripod for it, and I just started, you know, recording all my videos, putting it on the floor. Because before we all use a water bottle to hold our videos.
Or your shoe. I used my shoe a few times.
Water bottle, you know.
Yeah.
So I invested in a Gorilla tripod that I can literally clamp on anything, any pole, any bench, and just use it for different angles. So that's how it started. And I was just editing on my iMovie. And I always lived on YouTube. I don't watch no television. I always watch up YouTube for everything. If I'm buying a pair of shoes, if I'm anything that I'm buying, there's a YouTube video on it. You know what I'm saying? There's a review on it. So I go to YouTube for everything, for all my needs, especially if I want to learn something. So YouTube has been a big role in my vision and my goals. So I started with the iPhone 6. Then I end up wanting to take it a little bit more further. So my sister ended up upgrading her camera, and I ended up buying her old camera off her for $300. So
there you go.
So I started to iPhone 6 to a Rebel. Or to a Rebel series. So that's a
Canon?
Yeah, it's a Canon entry-level camera. So then I ended up buying another tripod. I ended up buying a mic because I wanted to be a vlogger. I was watching YouTube a lot, watching that vlogging lifestyle. So I wanted to be a vlogger. And at the time with this whole journey, I was working at FedEx Ground at the time. I got there in 2013. And I got there 2013. I was working there all the way to 2021. Yeah. So I started at FedEx Ground, and I was just, you know, living my life, enjoying my journey, and eventually.
Were you taking videography serious at this point, or were you just kind of, you know, the Swolfie king?
Yeah, just doing it for fitness, you know, recording my workouts, because there's more than just recording your workouts than just trying to look cool, or, you know, you can actually critique yourself, see where you're not adjusting right, your form is off. So there's definitely benefits for recording yourself. Yeah. So
there's one thing I do want to touch on that you mentioned while you're talking about your early beginnings in your journey, is you said you don't watch TV, everything is on YouTube. Yeah, YouTube University.
Yeah, YouTube University.
So for our viewers that are out there, you know, whatever you're trying to do, I don't care if you want to be a chef, you want to be a videographer, you want to be a business guru. There is so much information out there that is at the tip of your hands.
Free information.
Free information that you can get. Now, I'm not saying you're going to become an expert without, having some specialized knowledge that you might have to pay for. But for the most part, you can grab a lot of information and get the ball going. Like you say, there's levels to this, so I'm sure you started off your journey, simple with what you had at hand.
Yeah.
So if you guys are out there and are looking to start anything, start with what you have. If your phone is all you have, that's what you got to go with.
That's all you got to go with.
And as you improve, what I'm hearing you saying is you started to invest in yourself and invest in your business, and that's crucial for anyone in any type of business. I don't care how big or how small you are. You're constantly having to invest part of your funds back into your business if you want it to grow, and always leveling up, because if you're not, your business is dying.
Yep, exactly.
Imagine back, what year was that? 2014, iPhone 6 came out. Imagine you're still using an iPhone 6.
Man, I'll be getting laughed at.
That Galaxy?
I would be looking at this, not taking it seriously.
Yeah. So that's on anything, so that's cool. Yeah.
But let's go to the beginning. I got a question for you. Do you feel like there's people that make excuses for their lack of resources? So for instance, let me reword that question. Do you feel that people use their lack of resources as the excuse of why they don't get started? That's a better way to word it.
Yes, like there's always, excuses are always thinking people it's gonna sound best. Excuses you can have any type of excuses, it's just that negative doubt, not believing in yourself, not having the right focus, not having that vision, so like even myself, I wanted to be a vlogger, but I wanted the camera, I wanted the microphone before I started. We all have that little voice in our head where we want to have a vision, we have a goal, but then we're like, I want to wait till I get this. I want to wait before I get that. But yeah, so that definitely played a role into my upcoming stuff, because I always said I wasn't going to vlog. Once I get the equipment, I'm going to vlog. And I got the equipment and I still didn't do it. You know what I'm saying? So I even had the vision, still wanted to do it, invested into it, got the equipment, and I still didn't do it. Just, there's always little voices in your head. I was caring what people think of me holding the camera. But yeah, I used so many excuses throughout my life. And now I'm to a point where I matured a little bit more. I see things differently, and excuses don't get you nowhere in life. And when you give an excuse to someone that's successful, someone that, can see through the BS, they don't want to hear excuses.
Yeah, they check you on it.
They check on you real quick. Yeah.
So how old are you right now?
I'm 34.
How old were you when you started all this?
26.
So I actually,
I started at 25, 26.
25, 26. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm actually really curious because I know that a lot of people, I've struggled with this. I don't know if you've ever experienced this. A lot of people, if they're being honest, they're very self-conscious about recording themselves. You said you started off by recording your workouts.
Yeah, my workouts.
And then after that, what did it go to? You talking on camera?
It led to all my workouts, just me recording myself. I really didn't I had a vision of maybe one day I do want to do this professionally. Maybe one day I do want to record people. I was just going with the flow, I was working at FedEx at the time, so that was my bread and butter. That was my 9 to 5. That was my career at the time. I started loading trucks. Then I became a trainer to train the new hires to load the trucks. Then I did that. Then I became a manager. So after I became a manager, then I really started making more money, and I really started investing heavy into my gear.
Gotcha.
But I didn't have no vision, no goals about ever doing this professionally. I just picked it up as a hobby. I enjoyed, recording my workouts, seeing myself working out, because that was when I just got into working out. So I was loving it, feeling it.
Yeah.
Then I started watching Instagram more, and I started seeing videographers actually be successful, living the life already, being successful on Instagram, and I could see them being successful. So I started noticing that, and I started putting the pieces together. This is more than just a camera. You know what I'm saying? Especially in today's age, cameras and phones, they're more than just what we think they are. Everything is kind of, it depends how you use it. Like you can get a hammer, you can use it just to hammer a nail into one door. You actually can build a whole house with it, So it all depends.
It's a tool.
It's a tool.
Yeah.
So
how'd you get over, my question is, how'd you get over the self-consciousness or insecurity of recording yourself? Because a lot of people are going to watch this. They're in a bunch of different industries, and they probably need to get with the times and start recording and using social media and stuff. But people are always self-conscious. Everything you're talking about, you know, you started with an iPhone 6. Many people make the excuse of, well, you know, I don't have a camera yet. But it's really just an excuse because they're trying to hide their insecurities and all that other stuff, right? So you just started. You went into it. So if you can kind of talk about the mentality of that, how did you battle that in your own head, overcoming those insecurities or self-consciousness?
It still battled me even to this day. Like, it's still going to be in the back of your head, no matter how comfortable you might, you know, feel. You're still going to have that little thought in your head, like, oh, what is that person thinking? Like, it's still there in my head, but like you said, it's mind over matter. You got to overcome it. You know what I'm saying? Every day, your body's not going to be in the best shape to, you know, attack the day or perform that day, but it's mindset is everything. You know, as long as you can overcome your thoughts and think positive and not let the world get to you, that's where I feel like I've been more successful in just controlling my thoughts, you know, because people are going to look at you regardless. People are going to have their thoughts. People are going to might record you when you're not looking, like, look at this guy recording. Who do you think he is, you know? What did you do? Does he have 10,000 followers? You know, like, you're going to get that, you know? So it's still tough, but like you said, every day is tough. So you just got to tack it head on. Some of those thoughts in your head, you think people are actually, look, I'm talking about you, but they're not worrying about you. But it's in our head that we think they are.
Yeah, most people worry about themselves. You know, it's and I do get that, what you're talking about, that feeling of being self-conscious of being recorded. I record myself all the time, you know, it's like singing or playing the guitar or doing different stuff. And that feeling never goes away, you know, to me anyways. I mean, I'm sure there's people out there that are like super confident and they feel fine being recorded and talking, you know, there's some hesitance and some kind of, I don't know what the word is, fear, I guess it is, of being judged and failing and not looking good. But like you said, you push through it anyways, and you allow your belief system and your vision to push you through, you know? So I look at the future of what I want to accomplish and I say, what do I need to do to get there? And whatever that is, I just do it, you know, and I don't think twice. And what I've kind of realized is that when you're in it, the fear goes away, you know? So I used to perform in front of like hundreds of people when I was a musician, you know, live performances. And I remember I would be like backstage, just like freaking nervous, dude, just like almost vomiting and just like my hands shaking. I'm like, shit, I'm going to faint while I'm playing. Like, this is not good. Like, oh my God, I don't want to go out there. I don't want to go out there. I don't want to go out there. People are, you know, screaming and shit. And then the band before us leaves. And I'm like, oh shit, it's our turn. And you kind of like walk out there kind of like in a daze, and like few minutes into it like something hits you and it goes away and you're like in your element. So you have to push through that. And then once you get through it, you're fine.
You're smooth sailing after that.
So you could even like, tell like in the beginning of any podcast, if you really pay attention, sometimes you could feel the tension in people's voices, and then a few minutes in, you're like, oh, now he's relaxed, now he's in his element, you know. So that's from my experience, that's what I kind of notice in most people, and anyone that's successful and that's a professional has mastered that to where that fear or that angst goes away quicker. You know, have you guys ever seen the documentary Tyson?
Not Mike Tyson, right?
Mike Tyson. It's called Tyson.
No.
You haven't seen it?
I don't know.
Okay. Well, it's about Mike Tyson, and he's talking, and he's saying when he's prepping for the fight, you know, months before, he said he's scared. He's envisioning himself losing. He's envisioning himself getting knocked down and embarrassed in front of the whole world, and he's scared of this other fighter, and he's scared. And he says as the day gets closer, he's getting more scared, more fear. The day of the event, he's in his locker room. He's lacing up his shoes. He's feeling the pads from those gloves. Get his knuckles as close as he can to the end of the pads. And he's scared. He's fearful. He's downing himself. He's imagining losing. He's a
beast too.
Exactly. This is he's a champion at the time. Yeah. He says the closer he gets to the ring, he gets more scared. He steps on the ring. He's a god. Yeah. He's invincible. Nothing can stop him.
Yeah, I've seen it.
That mindset.
So that's the mindset. I'm telling you, everybody that's a professional, they all feel the same thing, and they know what they need to do, and they do it anyways. But when you're in what you do and you're a master at it, you're a god. You're invincible, and that's what people admire. You know, because they look at you, they look at Chris, they look at anyone that's successful, and they admire. That guy has the balls to push through the fear that I couldn't. you know?
Yeah, I think a lot of thing is we're so quick to bring ourselves down. We're so quick to think negative, think about the worst, think about what could go wrong, what's gonna go wrong, instead of thinking about what could go right, what's gonna go right. You know, that's why we need to have those positive affirmations. Like,
Right.
yeah, I'm gonna have this. Yeah, I'm about to perform on stage, but I'm gonna kill this. You know, I'm gonna own it. You know, this is what I do. We gotta have that confidence and just keep going. You know, and just be relentless at this.
Yeah, you know, one thing that you said earlier, let me fix this real quick. One thing that you said, I don't know, a few minutes ago, I like what you said. You said that, you know, when you start to try something, you do something. It's funny how people are, because the number one question that people use, this is overly used to control somebody else. And the question that is, and it's kind of more of a, they're not looking for the answer.
Yeah.
But the question is, who does this guy think he is?
Yeah.
That's always the go-to, right? And if you really understand that, what they're attempting to do is attempting to put you right back into the box that they want you to be in. Because the moment you start believing in yourself and you start thinking, I'm good enough to do something new, I'm gonna at least try it. I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that. All of a sudden it's, man, who do you think you are?
Yeah.
Who do you think you are, man? And the average person falls victim to that and be like, you're right. Who the hell did? Well, I was tripping, dog.
Yeah.
I shouldn't have been thinking that. And if you're going to be successful in anything, whatever success means to a person, you're going to have to push through it.
Yeah.
And then you're going to have this attitude like, you know what? Let me show you who the fuck I am. How about that?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay? Because people always think they know you, right? I heard this the other day. People think they know you because there's a relationship, right? And a relationship is like, I've known him for, I don't know, 10, 15. 11, 12 years, something like that, right?
Yeah.
Okay? So we always in a relationship with somebody, and then the longer you've been in a relationship, the more comfortable you become because you go, I already know him. I know him. I know him. But that's only because people stop relating to each other.
Yeah.
Relating is a verb. Relationship is not a verb. So people say, well, I already know him. No, you don't, because 12 years later, this is not the same guy.
Yeah.
Probably don't have the same beliefs, doesn't act the same way. Things change. But we don't realize that because I already know you.
Yeah.
And we stop relating to each other. And so I find out that people, that's how they try to control you. Who do you think you are? You know, a good fucking question. Let me actually reintroduce myself.
Yeah, let me remind you real quick.
Yeah, I think that's pretty big, man.
Yeah.
And so let me ask you, man, because you're 30, you said 34 years old. We were just talking right before we started shooting, and you have some pretty state-of-the-art equipment here.
Yeah.
And so you started on an iPhone 6. You didn't let your lack of resources become an excuse as to why you weren't going to do it. You started with an iPhone 6. You taught yourself. You went on YouTube. You started learning. You started doing all that stuff. Okay, cool. And then you started stepping it up, like really stepping it up.
Yeah.
Now you have some state-of-the-art stuff where I was like, damn, that's how much one camera costs?
Yeah.
Like, Jesus Louise, man.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Now, in order for you to do that, we've talked about this in previous podcasts, you really got to have some big balls to be like, you know what? I'm going to bet on myself.
Yeah.
I'm going to bet on myself. So I'm curious to know, most people are not aware enough, or they've never really been shown. Like, I think most people need a basically like a somebody who's going to guide them to the light. Yeah. And what I mean by that is that
they need a savior.
Yeah, right.
Or just see someone that's already doing what you want to do.
Yeah. But I'm talking about more so mentally. Like, most people don't speak the way you're speaking right now. Yeah. Like, listen to what he's saying, right? You know, you got to live your best life. You know, you got to be positive. You know, life's going to... a lot of people don't talk like that. They don't think that way. Man. So my question is, who put you onto that? Like, was it all like you just found it? You found like the spiritual thing, this awakening of your own consciousness, or somebody introduced you to it?
Yeah, man, it's I can't give you a precise day onto like my mindset, but like I always been joyful, I always been humble, I always been blessed. I really let no negative thing that happens to me, even if it's bad, super horrible, I don't let it break me down. It can, it can shake me up maybe for a minute or two, but I don't let it consume me for the rest of my day. I don't let it control my thoughts. We have so much power in our thoughts and, who we want to be and how we control who we want to be and how we think, how we react. But it was just in me. Like, I was born and raised in a Christian home. I didn't have the best upbringing. I didn't have the rich parents. I didn't have everything growing up. I was never home. I was always at my friend's house playing their games, eating their food. You know what I'm saying? I was that kid. I was never home, bro. And I don't know. I always been happy. I always been humble. I always been excited. Something bad can happen to me, and like you wouldn't even know that happened to me, you know. So like it's just like some people tell me like I'm wise beyond my years. Like you're always joyful. People always tell me why you're always in a good mood. It's just like I don't know what it is about me. It's just like I'm happy about life. Like the worst thing can happen to me, and the next day I don't let it bother me. You know, I got a DUI, flip my car over. You know what I'm saying?
Bang.
I got knee surgery, rupture my patellar ligament, got 19 staples from the top to my bottom. Still left it. Got a knee surgery in the gym. Left to the hospital. Took me in the ambulance. Went to the hospital. Told me I need surgery. Pushed my leg down because it was literally snapped like this. I couldn't even move it.
Man.
Pushed my leg down. Wrapped me up. Went home. I said I need to still hit my gym. Still went to the gym the same day.
Just upper body.
Yeah, dude. Like, so I don't know what it is with my
all
mindset.
chest, no legs, baby.
Yeah, dude. I don't know what my mindset is. It's like nothing can break me. Like,
Wow. So real quick, I want to get back to that, but I'm curious to know because this seems like this is just your personality.
yeah.
So let's take it back to your childhood. Are your parents like that?
Like I said, I know it's deep down there in my memory, but like
what did you watch your parents like? Is that how they conducted themselves? Like just always.
I was never home. My dad was always working and my mom was always working, so I was always around either my grandparents or my friends. I was never home and I was never really around my parents. Like they're always looking for me. Where's John? Where's Jonathan? Somewhere on the streets. I was skateboarding when I was younger, so I was always in. I grew up in Santa Fe Springs. I was always in Norwalk. I was always in Pico. I was always in Downey. I was always everywhere with all my friends. So my parents, my mom was a school bus driver, you know, so I always seen her work. My dad was a Class B truck driver, so I always seen him work. But my dad, he wasn't very educated. He didn't have the proper guidance, the proper mentors. He was born in 1955, and he wasn't a strong reader. So he wanted to be a Class A, but he wasn't a strong reader, so he couldn't take the test and actually pass. So I really didn't have no really guidance of like, get this job, go here, go to school. I didn't really have that structure, you know. So I just, you know, just every day, I was always joyful, always happy, always playful, and I just grew up like that, man.
Growing up, who would you say was your role model? Like you're like legit, no bullshit. Who was like the person you looked up to?
Like honestly, no bullshit. I had no goals, no dreams growing up my entire life, bro. I literally played every sport. I was very good at a lot of sports, but I didn't have no big dreams. I didn't see like I watched TV. I didn't see like, damn, NFL player, I want to be that person. Damn, the hockey player, I want to be that person. Damn, that famous skateboarder, I want to be. I never envied nobody. I was just living life day to day. I really didn't have no vision, no goals about making money. Even after I graduated, after high school, that was in 2006. I still didn't have no goals, no dreams. I wasn't, you know, nothing really on TV. None of my family members were successful. You know, nothing to look up to. Be like, damn, I want to follow his steps. You know, oh damn, I want to follow his steps. So I really didn't have that vision. I just knew that I had to get a job somewhere, work in a warehouse. I literally thought that was gonna be my life, just working in a warehouse, working at a warehouse. So I just ended up doing that for a long time until Instagram actually came into my life and actually brightened up my world to let me know that there's more out there. You know what I'm saying? There's people doing this, people doing that. So growing up, I really didn't have no role models, didn't really have no one looking up to. I had an older brother that was 6 years older than me. He moved out at 18. He's successful now, has a house, making money, working for the city, doing his thing, you know. But he wasn't a big brother to me to give me that guidance to, you know, take me with him, you know. So growing up, I didn't have no role models.
So Instagram really changed your life, though.
Yeah, Instagram changed my life in a big way.
Yeah, it sounds like you were exposed
to the world.
When you came across Instagram, and that's actually very interesting that you mentioned that, because we have talked about this before about, you know, paradigms. You know, so if you grow up in an environment where you're not exposed to the good life, you know, to wealth and to, you know, prosperity, and all you grew up with is, you know, everybody around me is not very successful. They just work a 9 to 5 and, you know, they just get by barely and they're struggling. That's all you know. Then you end up emulating that and then living the same life. And that's why you have, you know, 3rd, 4th, 5th generation, like I said, welfare recipients. And then you got the opposite, which is generational wealth, where if you grow up in an environment where your family's wealthy, successful, you know, then you tend to grow up and repeat that as well. You know, you feel you're entitled to success because that's all you've ever had, you know. And it's interesting that you have to expose yourself to the world and to different options to truly see what
is
out there and the possibilities.
Yeah.
You know, so something I wanted to ask you is, you know, since you grew up and you didn't really have like ambitions and goals and drive and vision, and not until you were exposed to the world and you know, you were working in a warehouse, what was the thing that triggered you to take it serious? Because you said when you started off, it was a hobby, you know, and you loved it and you had a passion for it, but you weren't planning on making a career out of it. So what was the trigger that made you say, this is what I want to do? Because now you're a full-time videographer. That's all you do.
Yeah, that's all I do right now.
You know, so talk about that.
It was kind of a blessing in disguise. As I transitioned and leveled up into my gear, I was leveling up my gear, watching more and more YouTube videos, seeing more better cameras out there. You know, every year there's always something new, you know, so I just came across more videos knowing that, damn, I just upgraded this camera, but damn, there's this camera. So I just started doing,
there's always something new.
Always something new, something better. So
I just got this iPhone and now there's a new one.
There's a new one. So I was just working at FedEx, you know what I'm saying? Didn't have a vision yet. I was a trainer at the time. And after my DUI, my knee surgery, I was off work for a whole year because I couldn't work. And after I came back to work, my position was no longer available. They took all those positions and made them part-time managers. So I was literally next up to like be a manager, and I missed that opportunity. So I came back after my knee surgery, after my DUI, and had to load trailers all over again.
Dang.
And I'm 27. Yeah, 27 with the bad knee. But yeah, that didn't stop me, dude. Like with the bad knee, I was still squatting heavy, still leg pressing out 7 plates up to 10 plates. So I was pushing myself. But yeah, so then I ended up working, loading trucks again. Then after I was loading trucks, I was like, man, I just missed opportunity. The guy that I was just training as a new hire is now my manager. This kid I just was training before I left is now my manager, you know. So I'm like, damn. So I actually reached out to FedEx Freight because my buddy that I was training actually left FedEx to go to FedEx Freight. And I did the interview, and she basically gave me the job right on the spot. Like, here's the pay rate. But like, she told me, honestly, I feel like there's not enough growth here. I think you'll be way better where you're at. And so I actually took that into consideration. I was like, you know, I'm just going to stick it out for a couple longer, see if there's any opportunities to be a manager at FedEx. So I ended up saying no to the offer. 2 weeks later, more positions open up. My buddy he's a manager, ends up applying at another FedEx. He ends up getting that job, so his spot opens up. Then boom, right when his spot opens up, all the big managers hit me up. Hey, you're gonna apply, right? You're gonna apply, right? So boom, I applied to be a manager. I get the manager position. Started making a lot more money than, you know, loading trucks. Yeah. So I got a lot more responsibility, and being a manager definitely molded me into a better person. How to manage employees, how to deal with personalities, how to help individuals. And I didn't want to leave FedEx. I actually had I wanted to stay another 2 more years into the FedEx. At the time I was managing for 3 years. I ended up loving what I do at FedEx. I was grateful. I was a very good manager. I was one of the best managers there. I was actually a manager that employees actually wanted to work for. If whatever I said to get done, they trusted me and they believed in me, knowing that I'm going to give it my all for him because he works hard for me. That's one thing. When I became a manager, I told myself, I get to be a manager that I never once had. Yeah. And a lot of people don't realize that. They get that role and be like, now you're in the power to be someone that you once didn't like, and now you have that power to be something better. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So
you had some tyrant managers and leaders. Yeah. That's the difference between a manager and a leader.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. So I was definitely a leader, bro. And I felt like dude, I was meant to be a manager, you know, I was helping so many individuals, a lot of my employees. The reason I helped them out too is so much because I was in their shoes. I was once an employee. I was once an employee. I was once in their shoes. I was once working 2 jobs, you know what I'm saying? Because FedEx is the type of company that don't give you full-time hours. You know, they use you and abuse you off to the next shift, you know, get what they get out of you, 3 hours, boom, send you home. So I was in their shoes, and I was a great mentor to these kids. They literally broke down crying to me, certain situations. I was just able to guide them and help them. And all these employees literally looked up to me, man. And I felt at a right place working for FedEx. I enjoyed it. I was happy working there. You know, there's some things you don't quite understand with certain companies, the rules, the policies, but I felt good. And at the time I was a manager, I was making good money. So I was investing more and more in my equipment, just to record myself. Then COVID hit. Once COVID hit, we actually picked up. Everybody lost jobs. We actually got more work at FedEx. So I was working 10-hour shifts, 6 days a week for like 5 months.
Yeah.
So I was racking in almost like 15 to 1600 every week. I was racking in like 6 to 5K a month, sometimes 10K a month. So I was really just investing heavy into my gear. Like, I don't have no kids. I'm 34 with no kids. You know what I'm saying? So this is the time to invest my money. I'm investing in this. So I started investing into my equipment. Boom, just bought my monitor, bought a new camera, bought a mic. I spent over $3,000 in equipment. Then as I'm, doing my journey at FedEx, I ended up getting fired from FedEx, dude. I ended up getting fired. I didn't want to leave.
You're still in boxes?
No.
What happened, dude?
Yeah,
you were like kicking him, like,
you got fired
boxes.
on his day off?
Definitely I did kick boxes when I was working there, you know what I'm saying? Step on a few boxes. It happens. But yeah, dude, like, I was very, I got blackmailed by some girl, got involved with an employee, and as a manager, that's, against rules, and didn't get too involved where, where we hooked up or anything, but just even text messages can get you in trouble, and she used it against me because I didn't want to hook up with her at the time.
Man,
so
you should have hooked up with her, bro. Just kidding.
Should have took one for the team, brother.
Yeah, so I ended up, and she was young. She was young too. She was young, and it ended up just she used that against me.
Wait, how young?
So she's old enough to work there.
I need to retract the statement I just made.
Yeah. What's that? The Me Too movement?
Yeah, dude. I'm gonna be quiet now. Me Too.
Well, because I was 33 at the time, so
yeah.
33. She was 21. So, but she was cool people. I'm cool with all my employees. I respect, especially on girls' employees. I respect them. Until they, she added me on Instagram. Once they added me on Instagram, all right,
she slid in the DMs, bro.
She went out of her way to add me. You know what I'm saying? So after that, that's how it led. I just didn't, approach her and like, damn, let me get at it. I'm the manager. Let me get it. I know how to be respectful. So
then you get fired.
I got fired. So now they come up to me like, yeah, we have to let you go. So I was actually on suspension pay for about like 3 months, 2 months.
Yeah.
So they were just going through it. And yeah, so I'm like, damn, dude, I just got fired. I have my equipment, but like if I didn't have my equipment, then I would have been stressing out a little bit more. But I had my equipment, so that's why I started going full force in my business. I could have went to another company. I actually had another job lined up called On Track, another shipping company.
Yeah.
But I just spent 8 years working for FedEx, So I didn't want to go back to that life. So right now, like I said, I'm 34 with no kids. So this is the time to take the leap. This is the time to take risks. So I was like, I'm going to take risks, and I'm just going to go full force and start reaching out to people. I never once did work for anybody. Everything when I was investing in my equipment, I was just doing work just for myself.
It was still a hobby too.
It was still a hobby, you know what I'm saying? But I had professional equipment, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So it was like kind of a little bit more than a hobby, but still a hobby. Like if I really wanted to do it, I can transition. And
right.
I transitioned and just started reaching out to people, reaching out to businesses. Hey, can I do a video for you? And it wasn't easy, It's like, it was very overwhelming at first, but like I said, enjoying the journey, enjoying the process, trusting the process. And I just ended up hitting up a wedding photographer, and he ended up hiring me to be a second shooter. So I ended up doing that. And the only reason I think he took an interest in me because I already had an established setup. I already had some gear. So I looked pretty like I've been in the game for a minute,
Yeah. So it's like you pull up in a super nice car and stuff, and like, oh, this guy's got it going on. Yeah. Little did he know you were just the Swolfie King at the time. You're like,
King, man.
Any businesses need to shoot your fitness?
Yeah, man. So that's how it started. And yeah, man, I just started with the wedding photographer to get my experience, then hitting up people, and it's just been a journey since.
So what pushed you in to going all out with this was actually getting fired.
So
that's interesting, dude, because I heard so many success stories that starts just like that.
Yeah.
And it's just taught me that the thing that seems like it's the worst thing to happen to you
is the best thing.
Actually happens to be the best thing that happens to you. Because if you never getting fired, maybe we wouldn't be sitting here having this conversation.
Yeah. I would be still working right now, night shift.
Yeah, think about that.
Yeah,
because you had no plans on moving that.
Nope.
It's a trip, dude. It reminds me, I only met him because I got fired working at a restaurant.
That's right.
And I got fired working at a restaurant because I was giving away food. I was giving away pies and all, desserts and all kinds of stuff. And I had no intent on quitting that job. Then they kicked me out the door, and I was all pissed off. A week later, I get hired at 24 Hour Fitness. I meet him. Boom, look at my life.
Yeah.
It's a trip, dude.
Yeah.
That's always how it works. So that's interesting.
That's why you can never beat yourself up too hard where, you know, it can hinder you in the wrong way.
Yeah.
Like after I found out she ratted me out like that, I have her phone number. I wanted to call her so bad, dude, and be like, what the fuck did you do?
Yeah.
Why would you do this to my life? I'm 34 years old, you know, like this is my career.
She wanted your position, dog.
Yeah, she was my career at the time. Like, you don't mess with someone's life like that, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Especially at the age that I'm at. So, like, it really, like, but I kept my cool, you know, I kept my humbleness. Like, I was respectful, and I never reached out to her.
Give her a thanks, bro. Now they'd be like, hey, thank you.
Since this day, I don't hold no resent. I don't hold no grudge to her, because at the end of the day, I always say things happen for a reason. I didn't want to go out like that because I was better than that. I was just talking to one of the main managers who just got transferred here. I was talking to her about my vision and how I am as a person, and she's like, you're overqualified for your position. She straight up told me, you're overqualified for your position. I need you to do something else. I'm like, I didn't want to go that route. I could have been full-time managing, but I wanted to be part-time because I had more control of my free time. I was going in at 7 p.m. I have all day to do my hobby, do fitness, do this. So my schedule was set. I loved my schedule.
Yeah.
Then that happened, you know? So then I got fired. Then I just started reaching out to people, trying to book jobs, book gigs. And the ball just started rolling, started getting opportunities. You know, I had to sacrifice doing second shoots for $50, doing free shoots, but that's all part of the journey, you know?
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people have side hustles, have small business on the side, but they never take the leap, never take the risk because they're too worried about leaving their comfort zone, too worried about, oh, my business not making enough money yet. You know what I'm saying? So then they never, ever leave their 9 to 5. Then that dream just perishes. It never gets brought to life. That vision never gets brought to life.
Yeah.
So like I gotta encourage people, if you have a side business, you know, you have something on the side, go all in, invest in it. You know, it's not gonna be booming right away. You're not gonna see profits right away. And one thing too, you gotta choose a career it's impact over profits. That's one thing I'm very big on. I might not have the nice car, I might not have the house right now, but my happiness, I'm rich. My happiness, I'm successful. That's one thing no one can take away from me. You can have this more than me, you can have that more than me, but everyone's success is different, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like you said earlier, everyone's success in their own ways or their own words. But my mindset and my happiness, you can never take that away from me or break that away from me. And that's one thing people need to realize is your happiness is powerful. You can choose to be happy. It's all about just your thoughts and just switching it. So
that's dope.
That's huge, man. That's awesome.
What books do you read?
Honestly, that's one thing I need to do is read, dude. Like I've been putting that on the back burner, and like I said, I'm gonna read because that's one thing I really do struggle is reading. Because obviously my dad wasn't a big reader, and that's one thing I always lacked growing up was reading. I was always the kid embarrassed to get picked on to read, you know, especially in elementary, middle school, everyone's making fun of the person that can't read, you know?
Yeah.
So that played a big role into me trying to develop myself. I'm not a big reader, like, but now that if I pick up a book, it's amazing how much I can read, you know?
Yeah.
Because back then I had so much doubt in me. I didn't want to read. I was nervous. As a kid, I did horrible in school. Always in trouble. I was on probation in high school. I had to check in with the PO every day. I was on probation in middle school. I literally had a conference call with my school district, middle school at the police station, bro. Like I was a bad kid, dude. I was always in trouble. And just thank God I was able. I literally had to go to court every month, and it was called Los Padrinos. It was a juvenile court, and I literally had to go in every day and check in and make sure my grades were good. I was just hanging around with the wrong people, growing up with the wrong friends, and just didn't have no structure, didn't have no guidance, didn't have no one to look up to. So, and I was around a lot of tigers too. You know, tigers back in on my day. So yeah, man, just be happy. You're gonna go through ups and downs, and you just can't let that eat you up.
Yeah,
can't let you eat you up.
The reason I ask what books do you read, because you actually say some very insightful things. I'm telling you, like the average person not walking around saying like you choose impact over profit.
Yeah.
Usually you like read or you
that's like it sounds like a line from like a book or something. Huh?
You know, that's why I'm asking that question, because you're pretty insightful, man. I mean, you're saying some stuff that And what's most fascinating to me as I'm talking to you is you're telling me that this is just all innate. This is just, it was in you, you know, as a kid, you just learned to be happy, or it was just a part of your personality trait. And then you grew up and now you're a 34-year-old man. You flipped over your car, you've had surgery, you got fired after a job for 9-8 years, whatever it was. And then you're like, yeah, dude, I'm just happy about life and happy with my experience. And that's a big thing, dude. I don't think that we really highlight that. I don't think we just as a society.
Yeah.
Because everybody's so pissed the fuck off all the time.
All the time, dude.
About everything.
Everything.
You know, you can have a Lamborghini and you're pissed off because it ain't a Bugatti.
Yeah.
You can have $1 million, but you're pissed off because somebody else has $5 million. Yeah. And there's always this is to say, don't chase the next level. That's not what I'm saying. That's not what you're saying.
Yeah.
You're chasing things. You know, I mean, you didn't invest all that you've invested into because you're not chasing your goals. But this is huge because you've learned how to be happy and content in the moment. Yeah. Now I understand why you started the podcast off the way you started it off. Yeah. You literally said, it's enjoy the journey and trust the process. Yeah. And now we're like 30, 40 minutes in. Yeah. And all I've heard is really you're embodying it. Yeah. That's pretty awesome.
Appreciate it.
There's one thing that I noticed because I'm not like that naturally either.
Nah, hell no, I'm pissed off.
You know, I wake up, I'm like, damn it, my phone is going too slow, you know, or something like you get upset about. But when you hear like universal truth, it hits you and you resonate with it, you know. Yeah. So you said a lot of things that when you said, I'm like, dang. Yeah, that's right. That resonates with me. And I think most people, when they hear a positive message or anything that rings true to them, they can connect with you and they'll be like, man, this guy, he's wise. Yeah. When you hear someone say that person's wise, is because when they speak, they say certain things that resonates with you on a universal level. Yeah. You know, you're like, dang, that's deep. That's something that people say all the time, you know, that's deep, or that's so true, or, oh, wow, you know. And anyone that could command a presence and command leadership and bring their vision to life has that ability to connect to that universal truth. Yeah. You know, so everything you've been saying is really been connecting with me. And like you said, everything happens for a reason. And one thing that I wanted to talk about is connecting with the right people and collaborating with the right people. Because me and you, we work together on different events. I mean, we just shot one this Saturday. We're working on the edits right now, and it's going to be sick. But, you know, I wouldn't be able to do that by myself. Yeah. You know, there's certain things that I am good at that maybe the next person is not, and they have something that I'm not good at that we can connect together and work on it and create something bigger. Yeah. You know, so my vision is to have, you know, a big production company and work with multiple people that all have the same vision. And I told you this before, you know, I feel that we can work together in the long run as well. But I want you to talk about, you know, just working with different people and, you know, what your experience has been in the videography world. I know you work with some major companies, some social media influencers. You work with other videographers, other photographers, and I know that you have a pretty big vision for your own brand and for your own company. So talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, man. It's very crucial. Like people say, your network is your net worth, right? Yeah. So like you gotta evolve yourself around people you know you want to be with. Me growing up, I didn't involve myself around a lot of people that I emulated or wanted to be with. So now that social media is opening doors and I see people actually living the life that I want to live, that are already successful at the things that I want to do, that's what I've been reaching out to. But then there's also people that you don't want to work with that are going to hinder your name or make you look bad or don't appreciate you as much as, you know, or you might be getting used. So you definitely want to reach out to people, but then also step back from the people that you're reaching out for that might not be a good fit to what you're trying to do, you know, because people... When there's money involved, it can go multiple ways, you know? Like me, I'm not money hungry. I'm always blessed. I'm always grateful with the money I have, with the stuff I have. So one thing, money's never going to control me. It's never going to change me. And it's never going to bring a different person that I don't want to be like. And that's one thing I'm always going to stay true to that. Like I said earlier, you want to impact more than profit. You know, I'm all about more impact over profit. Yeah, the money will come. I know God's going to take care of me. Like right now, as my journey as a full-time videographer, I didn't have no income, right? I just got fired. I didn't even take my unemployment. I didn't even fill it out or nothing. And that was money I could have easily took advantage of, used it for my business. But me, I don't want that to make me feel comfortable. Or I have a weekly check coming in from the government. I don't need to chase work. You know what I'm saying? So I actually said no to the government work because I don't really like government sometimes. And I just wanted to do everything on my own, learn on my own, reach out, you know, network on my own. So like I said, networking is very crucial, very big. And I always appreciate to the people that, you know, introduce me to things, introduce me to clients, introduce me to other videographers, other photographers. And, you know, and I had some good interactions working with people. Then I also had, not bad, but I distanced myself before it got bad. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, man, you definitely got he was saying earlier on one of his calls is there's a difference between a trainer and a mentor. Right now, I didn't have no mentors growing up, you know what I'm saying? So now I'm looking for mentors. You know, I've been finding mentors. I've been reaching out to people. That's one thing I didn't have growing up, you know, finding a mentor. So it's very crucial that you reach out to people that are already living your life, that are already successful in the life that you want to live or the career that you're in. You know what I'm saying? And there's some people that are going to reach out to you, and some people are going to be too busy to give you their knowledge, or some people are going to be too stingy to give you the knowledge. I try to reach out to certain videographers, no reply, no friend requests. All of a sudden, they want to work with me now. You know what I'm saying?
Why? Why do you think that is? What changed?
They probably saw my portfolio or it's on my Instagram. You know, some people might, like I said, when there's money involved, it can go either way. Some people think it's competition. You know what I'm saying? Me, like I said, I'm never gonna let money get involved with me. You know what I'm saying? I'm down to communicate and team up on a certain project that we both benefit. You know what I'm saying? But like, say if you need money, a little bit more money for a certain bill that week, I wouldn't mind cutting my check or my profit to help you out on a certain bill that month. That's the kind of person and team player I am. There's other people out there just want to get a job, take $5,000, pay you $200. You know what I'm saying? That's the type of people that you don't want to work with. You know what I'm saying? You want someone that's going to help put more food on your table, you know, going to treat you fairly. Those are the type of people that I want to work with, you know. And me and Animal have that connection real quick, and I barely even know him. I was on the way to a shoot, didn't even communicate with me or nothing. All he says, November 11th, close it out, send in the deposit. We're going half. That's simple. Those are the type of people you're going to want to work with, and I appreciate that. Other people are going to want to take advantage of you, use you for your name, use you for your information, and bounce. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like companies, they say, what if we don't train them? What if we train them and they leave? What if we don't train them and they stay? You know what I'm saying? So me, I'm always willing to help someone, get them to the next level, bring them up with me. I'm never going to keep information, especially that's going to help someone be successful. I'll actually go out of my way. If I know there's an up-and-coming videographer, I'll go out of my way and reach out to him. Let him know, hey, you need help, you need a mentor, you need someone that's already in the game. I'm here to help, even though I don't have to. And that's the type of guy I've always been. I'm always eager to help out, give my information, whatever I can offer to you that's going to save you time or save you a lesson or a failure. I'm going to give you that so you don't have to make that mistakes. Yeah. And too many people don't want to do that for people, you know? Yeah. Too many people want to see you fail, want to see you make that mistake you made so they can be like, yeah, I did that too, huh? How does it feel? That's not the type of person I am.
Yeah, it's like they see you walking into a hole, and instead of being like, hey, don't go down that aisle. You know, I've been down, there's a hole. Yep. They like tell them, be like, watch this fool, he's gonna fail. Yep. Yeah, that's messed up, man.
I think there's two school of thoughts people have. It's most people have this. There's only enough cheese for one of us. And then B is, hey, there's enough to go around. Yep. And as I'm talking to you, and as I'm telling you, I'm very fascinated. And that's why I'm curious to know, like, your upbringing. Who was the one that, there had to have been somebody that demonstrated that to you, because there's a lot of people that grow up and they're the exact opposite. Yeah. They're the users, they're the abusers, they're constantly manipulating, looking to take, looking to steal. It's a lot of insecurity. Yeah. You know, it's insecurity from within, like there's not enough, man. If Jonathan wins, then I'm gonna lose. Right. And you're the exact opposite. Yeah. You're like, man, you and I can both win. Yeah. That's dope, dude. That's really that's refreshing to hear, because a lot of people don't like that.
Yeah, and I can vouch that everything he's saying is who he is, you know.
So this is not a script.
It's not a script, man, because you know, I've been working with him for the last, like I said, like 2 months. It's fairly new, but he has shown that he truly is that person. You know, he's helped me out so much when I really had nothing. You know, I was just getting started off, and I reached out to him, and he's helped me a lot, and didn't have any expectations. You know, he just, whatever I was willing to help out with, or I could do, he'd be like, yeah, cool, I'm down, whatever it is, you know. And most people are not like that. Like you said, they want to hold back information. He like gave me everything. Any question I had for him, he would tell me, this is what you do, that's what you do.
Tight.
You know, I literally sat down next to him and watched him edit complete videos that, you know, I was supposed to do, but he has so much skill, and I respect him so much. I'm like, I want to see your process. I want to see your workflow. I want to see what you do and how you do it. And it's worth thousands and thousands. He spent thousands of dollars, hours, time invested, that he has specialized knowledge that he shared with me for free. You know, I didn't expect anything in return. Where most people would be like, first off, I'm not going to teach you, because go learn it on your own. And secondly, if I do teach you, you're going to have to pay me, you know? And he's not like that. So I know that everything he's saying is true, because I personally experienced it. And I appreciate you for that.
Thank you.
But also for our audience, you know, these are attributes that you should carry with you if you want to succeed in whatever your venture is, you know, because they're going to allow you to connect with the right people. And people could be like, man, like, now that Chris knows you a little bit more, like, oh, man, you know, Jet's a cool guy. You know, he didn't know you before today.
Yeah.
And now there's an audience out there that's going to be watching this podcast and be like, man, that guy's really cool. Let me check out his page. Let me see, oh, like, wow, down on top of being really cool, look at his content. This guy's amazing. You know, and that's how you expand yourself. You know, you have your vision, you stay on path. And as you start to go down, the right people just start to come along. And little by little, you start getting more and more and more. And next thing you do, you turn around and like, damn, look at all these. I got thousands of people following me and what I'm doing, and they believe in me and they like me.
Yeah.
You know, I like you. I follow you, and I respect what you do. And I'm sure many other people will as well. And that's how you're going to create your following. You're going to create your vision. You're going to create your life. And anybody could do it.
Yeah.
You know, anybody could do it in whatever you want to do. You know, you could be the version of that for whatever it is that you're doing, you know? So that's awesome, man.
Appreciate it. Man.
I got a question. How do you deal? So I like this topic. How I'm sure you've experienced this, you know, listen to what Annabelle's saying right here. You know, he reached out to you, whatever, but he had questions, you helped.
Yeah. You
didn't look for anything in return. You helped just for the sake of helping. And like, hey, if I can do good for you, then that means something to you, obviously. Right. I'm sure you've experienced this, because I think all of us have experienced this, and many people have experienced this, where you actually go above and beyond and help somebody, and you're good to them. And then, not that you were looking for anything in return, but they clearly show you how unappreciative they are, that they were there to take from you rather than collaborating with you.
Yeah.
Maybe even go as far to badmouth you and throw dirt on your name. First of all, have you experienced that? And if you have, how do you process that? Because I'm curious to know from your perspective, your mindset about a guy that I'm listening to saying, man, I'm just happy.
Yeah.
Like, it's just your internal system it seems like it's very in check. And so like anything that's happening in the outside world, it might have an effect on you, but I think you're having a better effect on yourself rather than letting somebody else. So if you could talk about that.
Yeah, like you said, I'm real big on mindset and controlling your mindset, your thoughts. And like, I can use, like you said, someone uses me, I can hold. One thing I don't do is hold grudges. I cannot hold grudges. No matter if something happens today, we disrespect each other, we don't agree on something, and I can never be mad at you for the rest of my life, or like 2 weeks later. Like, I can't be mad.
Why not?
I just can't hold grudges for some reason. Like,
why do you think that is, though?
Like that girl that ratted me out, I don't hold a grudge to her. It's just something inside me that, like, I'm at peace no matter what. And
do you know where that comes from, or you just don't know?
I just don't know, honestly. Like, it's just in my mind. Like, there's literally nothing that's gonna break my spirit. Like, you can make fun of my chip tooth, you can make fun of this, you can make fun of that. I'm still gonna be happy and blessed and grateful and excited about my life. Yeah. There's nothing you can't take that away from me. And that's what people need to realize. Like, they can take your car away, they can repo your car, you can get kicked out of your house, but you can control your happiness. Because if you don't control your happiness, guess what? The next move is going to go back downhill, instead of going up. So, yeah, once I come across those people, and I wouldn't even talk bad on their name, but if I know someone else is engaging with them, then I'll give them my insight, like, hey, don't work for this person. This person's gonna do this. This person's gonna do that. You know what I'm saying? I won't talk bad on them, like F this, F that.
You give them a warning.
I'll give them a warning. I'll give them the information. You know, there's different.
The facts.
Yeah, the facts.
Yeah.
There's a difference between telling someone, oh, I don't mess with Tamez. I don't work with him. Well, why? I just don't. There's a reason to. I just don't want to explain. Like, that's just a guy that you know, just want to hinder you, want to put you and make your name look bad, doesn't really have any facts. Yeah. If I'm going to speak on someone's name, I'm going to give you the facts on why I don't feel that way and why I don't work for that person. But yeah, man, it's all about just controlling it, man. I just don't know what it is. It's just my anger. I can't get angry. I know there's a limit to me where I could get angry and I could be on a whole nother level if you get me to that point, and where I need to defend myself and, you know, do things. But like life situations where, you know, someone's made fun of me, someone stole from me, this happened. My $700 lens broke. I dropped it. Dang. Simple mistake, bro. Dropped it. I literally beat myself up for 3 minutes. 3 minutes after that, bought a new camera that same day. Same lens.
I like this.
That's
dude.
crazy.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, man.
I can let it, like, damn, $700. Like, damn, dude, like, why did this happen to me? Why? Like, why? One thing I always do, I never blame God for anything. No matter what, people cannot blame God for anything that's going on. Everybody always wants to blame God. Why did this happen, God? If God's good, how come this person passed away? If God's good, how come this person happened? God has given us the freedom to do whatever we want with our lives. It's up to you to control it. That's why I control my happiness. I control my anger. I control my passion. I control my motivation. I can control my drive. Your control of your whole being, your whole body. Take control of yourself. We want to look on IG and just, damn, I'm never going to get there. And one thing too, 9 to 5, it's hard. I think a lot of people are stressed out and always angry because we live in this world where it's hard to succeed when you're working at a 9 to 5. You're in this world. You're trying to establish yourself. You're trying to make a name for yourself. You're trying to go up the ranks and make a living for yourself. You know what I'm saying? So we're all going through this life starting out. Like, that's why I tell my employees, like, you're coming in unmotivated. You have a job. I used to tell my employees, if you don't want to clock in, if you don't want to work here, don't clock in. I can read your body language as soon as you walk in. I started taking things seriously. There's one thing I don't like to is being late. I can't stand being late to something that I say I'm going to be on time. And as a manager, I never let any of my employees come in late. If the first day, as soon as I catch them in late, I put them in check. I give them reasons why I don't expect them to be late, why it's not good for them to be late for my operation, and how being on time is going to better him as a human being and as his work ethic. That's a lot of managers don't realize. They tell you, oh, you're late. Why? They don't want to hear an excuse. Hey, man, I'm going to need you to be at least 10 or 15 minutes here early. If I get a new employee, I need you to be here 10, 15 minutes early every single day. There's no reason why you should show up late to my operation. If you're showing up late, you didn't take the right responsibility steps to make your job a priority. So why are you showing up late? You know, so managers really got to check their employees being on time, holding your employees accountable. So that's one thing. Oh, I kind of got off lost subject what we're talking about.
Yeah, no, that was good, man. I think we found the title to this episode.
What is it?
Control your happiness. How to control your happiness.
That's beautiful.
That's what I'm taking from this whole talk. Yeah. You know, and I like how you're you're webbing, you know, it's like a big web, you know what I mean? Like you're talking about entrepreneurship. Yeah. You're talking about your journey. You're talking about where you came from and where you started and where you're at right now. But it's the biggest takeaway from this is controlling your happiness. Yeah. And I'm feeling that. You know, I really am feeling that because a lot of people struggle with that. I myself struggled with that for years. Yeah. You know, I let money control me. Yeah. Money control my happiness. When I have it, man, I'm happy. Yeah. When I don't have it, man, I'm fucking pissed, dude. Yeah. You know, I let people's criticism control me. Yeah. That was a big thing, dude. You know, if somebody criticizes me, I'm fucking mad. I want to go at you. Yeah. But let somebody praise me. Nah, I'm in cloud 9. I'm on cloud 9, you know? Yeah. And I get what you're saying. It's basically, there's something deeper to what you're saying, and people need to understand that. You're really talking about not letting the external world control you. Yeah. You know, everybody's being affected and very few people are being the cause. Yeah. Yeah. And that's huge, dude, because if you could solve that problem, and if people can solve that problem,
that'll solve a lot of problems.
That solves your life. Yeah.
But it's hard because like now I figure out what I was getting to. It's hard when you're living that 9 to 5 and you're trying to come up in this world because now you got bills. Yeah. Now you're trying to literally literally, there's a saying to get ahead in life, or to save or be successful, you have to live below your means. And you literally have to, if you really want to save money, you have to stop eating certain things, buying certain things, spending money on certain things. So you really have to live below your means. And everyone's just trying to be successful, but they got that bill. They got that rent coming up next month. They got this bill. So everyone's thinking about all their bills, all their stresses, instead of living in the moment.
Yeah.
And it's hard when you're working a 9 to 5 because you got bills coming up, but you can't make money unless you work more shifts. You can't make more money unless you take overtime. You can't make more money unless you get a second job. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But if you have your own business and you're making your own money, there's one thing I came across that says you're limited to the amount of hours you can work in a day, but you're not limited to how many sales you can work in a day.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's one thing I didn't grow. I was never in the sales department. I was never in sales. And that's one thing that I wish I would have got into. So that's why I tell a lot of my employees right now, when you're growing up, when you're in your 20s, rack up your resume, rack up your experiment. This is the time where you're supposed to work at shitty jobs. You know what I'm saying? You're supposed to slave away for, I was working for $9 an hour in 2009, 2013, making $11 an hour. I was making $40 hours a week, $263 a week, bro. 40 hours. Now in 2021, I was making fucking $1,600 in a week. You know what I'm saying? So obviously there's levels to that. You know, we're all supposed to go through these trials and tribulations, and everyone just wants to be miserable in those trials and tribulations. Love the fucking journey. You know, love the struggles, because every struggle that you're going through, there's a lesson to be learned behind it. And it's only going to develop you. You shouldn't be, if something happens, you shouldn't be making the same mistake. Obviously, you're not learning, you know what I'm saying? So people need to realize that. Don't make the same mistake. Something bad happened. Take a step back, visualize what happened and how you're going to move forward from it. Right. Too many people are like, oh, this happened. They just beat themselves up, dig more and more deeper into the hole that they're in already. Yeah. Instead of thinking positive. And it's hard to think positive, you know? Like I said, when you got those bills, when you got that, you know, those problems, it's not easy. But once you control that, you're going to be a lot happier. Everything starts happening for a reason. God starts blessing you more because you're thinking about that, all that stuff. All my gear, there's one thing I was telling Anna about earlier is I don't put a timeline on my goals. I don't really write a lot of things down where like, I want to be this at this time. I want to have this new camera at this time. I kind of just think it in my head. Every day I'm thinking this. If I want a new camera, I'm looking at YouTube, looking at that new camera, looking at the new camera. The next day, looking at the new camera. The next day, looking at another video. 2 months later, I have that camera. Like, what the hell? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's all about just going with it, staying positive, being happy, and trusting the journey, trusting the process, and all of it's going to fall into place.
Yeah. That's actually huge because, you know, most people, they watch these self-help things when it tells them like, write down your goals. And people sometimes they take that and they literally write down their goals and they never look at that page ever again, and they don't even think about it. And then 2 years later, they're still ain't doing shit. But what you're doing, you are writing your goals down, but you're writing them in the ether. Yeah. You're writing them in your mind, and you're envisioning them every single day. That is huge, dude. That's huge. And you are creating. Yeah. You are creating your life in your mind, and then you're going through your day. You're literally doing what we talk about on our podcast. You know, you're an embodiment of what we teach and what we know because we've lived it as well. Yeah. You know, we all have different journeys, but we're all connected in a certain way. And what you're saying, we're all resonating with. And every single guest that we bring on, you know, in their own way is doing the same thing that you are doing and that we are doing. Yeah. And that is, we are constantly envisioning in our mind what we want, you know, and we're going through our day every day going after it, you know, and that's huge because anyone that's watching this wants to do that as well. And, you know, and I personally have took a lot out of this podcast myself, just listening to you. And I worked with you. I've known you for a few months now, and you know, I learned a lot. So thank you again, man, for your wisdom, for your input. And I'm definitely going to apply some of the things that you've been talking about in my business, in my life. And yeah, man, thank you.
Yeah, it's been a pleasure talking to you. And it's, you know, the one thing that I'm very impressed about today is it's just, you know, I can tell you're speaking from just You're not, there's no script. There's no like, I can tell you don't have you didn't come here with an agenda, like I'm going to try to impress them.
Yeah.
I can tell you're just talking. You're just saying what you feel and how you live. And I think that it's so interesting, and I would like to get to know more, because I'm sitting here and I'm listening to what you're saying. I'm like, man, it's hitting me so deep, because it took me so many years to understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
Which is, you just got to stop letting everything else control you. And if you just learn how to master yourself, then you can then master the world, or master your craft, or, stuff like that. And so, that's huge, dude. That is so big. And I hope that everybody here really pays attention and gets that lesson, because whether you're in financial services, whether you're in fitness, whether you're, have a restaurant, whether you're in videography, editing, whether you're a lawyer, it don't matter. You're running something, but that something requires the best of you. And we can't be the best us if inside we're all fucked up. So I really appreciate your time, bro. I appreciate your time, and it's been a pleasure. And I've learned a lot, just so you know.
Appreciate it.
And man, it's been awesome talking to you.
Yeah, we definitely have to have you come back in the future. I know me and you are going to be working together on our business, our videography business. And just for the audience out there, how can they reach out to you, check out your page? Do you have a website? I know your Instagram, you can tell your Instagram handle, or any other way to contact you.
Yeah, right now you can contact me at jet_media_visuals. That's my IG I go by right now. And yeah, man, just hit me up right there. I'm always on my Instagram. I'm always, on my mobile phone. So if you have any questions, feel free to ask away. I'm always open to help anybody that has any questions. I go a little bit beyond. If you ask me something, I'll send you the link to it and everything. I'll search it up for you and send it to you. So
there you go.
Yeah, if you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask. Just wake up every day happy, blessed, and grateful, and excited about your life.
Awesome, man. Thank you again. And guys, it's been a pleasure. Hope you guys got some good insights on today's podcast. Stay tuned. Next week, we have some awesome guests coming as well. And make sure you guys subscribe to our Instagram and to our YouTube channel. And see you guys next time.